unless we were absolutely in that person's skin, dressed like them, and experience some of those negativity that associated with their culture, then we would definitely know who has it worse.
All right, thank you for that. Did you have something you wanted to say? Yeah.
Just to go off what she said about every time she flies, they have to like search her extra. I also have the same problem. Every time I fly, I have like extra security check, and it's not because of the way you're dressed or whatever. It's like computer generated, and usually if you don't have like the typical American last name, the computer just like generates your name for like an extra search. And at first I was like really annoyed by it because like why do I have to be searched every time? But as time went on, I came to understand that it's just measures to prevent 9/11 from happening again. So I mean, I look at it both ways, and I understand that the Americans are just trying to put measures in place to prevent 9/11 from happening again. And from what you said about TV, I'm from Ghana, and every time they show something about Africa, somebody living in trees, people walking around naked, and that's not what Africa is all about. Like there's like big cities, there's cars, there's mansions. So yeah, the media really definitely plays a big role in how people think about different countries.
Oh, okay. And also bringing up what you said about you have something to say?
I just want to say, like, as much as we want to blame the media, sometimes we have to understand that we have to make sure our society is responsible for the incident that happened. And if we limited the incident that happened within our community, the media will not be having so much opportunity to cover so many things, and that will develop into stereotyping people. Because, some of the cultures, there's so many incidents that happen often that media have to start, creating images that make people stereotype their culture. So I'm just saying it's not always the media. There are communities that certain incidents happen more than one, and it's somewhat not acceptable too. So I'm not just saying those cultures are bad or what, but I'm just saying there are so many repetitive cases that happen within that culture. You are to take responsibility for the blame too, and the stereotypes that you bring into your own community too.
Thank you. Evelyn, you had something you wanted to share?
Yeah, going back to what Charlene said. You said the computers actually do that, but I'm sure the computer didn't just wake up one day and decide, okay, I'm going to check for falsehood. Somebody got there and said it like that. So to me, that sounds like racial profiling because you have a different last name because you dress somehow, then you're a terrorist.
It doesn't just happen with unusual Americans, like unusual last names. It happens with people who are American and have typical American last names as well. So it might happen often with people with unusual last names, but it does happen with people who have typical American last names.
Well, yeah, I think I pretty agree, and because I hate being, just an additional extra check when I go through the security, because sometimes I will be wondering, do I look like a terrorist sometimes? No, I don't think so, absolutely. And also, but I just can't help being nervous when they check me from my head to toe, something like that. And although I'm not carrying any, drugs on me, but yeah, I think nobody will like it. And also, back to the another stereotype, and when it comes to Asian, portrayed in either media or in just in daily life, and Asian were kind of considered more silent than American. And actually before I took one of my classes, and then the director talked to me and then telling me that our discussion is a very important in that class, and then I just say, okay, no problem at all. I don't think I will keep silent from the very beginning to the end. So okay, it won't be a problem for me. But then after my first time to be in that class, and then I found I don't think I don't think it will be easy for me to get an A, because every time we are supposed to raise our hands 10,000 times, and but the problem is the question. Like, okay, what kind of give me a specific example of a show which is very popular in 1970s or in 1980s. But okay, and then I had no choice but keeping silent, because I don't know at all what the well, because at that time I was a little kid in China, and then I don't know was happening here, and like sometimes my American classmates will burst into laughter, and then I just kind of sitting there and don't know what happened at all, because I don't know about it, but has nothing to do if I'm silent or not.
So you were saying that the stereotype, it doesn't fit you because you're Asian, it fits you because you don't know what's going on. So it doesn't apply to you.
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah, okay, I see.
Going back to what Charlene was saying, and me personally, I don't think it's fair for people to have to step out of line regardless of your name or not, because what is American? You know, if you don't have the typical American last name, okay, but you have people of many cultures that have the name Smith, you know, Johnson, you know, so to me, I don't feel like it's fair for people to be excluded and kind of made isolated while everyone else passed through because of their traditional attire, or because of their skin tone, or because of their native, you know, things that they may carry from different countries. I'm gonna speak on behalf of myself, because when I went to Nigeria, when I came back, you know, they saw, you know, I'm an American citizen, but at the same time, they saw my luggage, they saw, you know, my hair being different, so they felt the need to step me to the side, being an American citizen or whatever like that. So they looked upon my name, and at the same time looked upon where I was coming from. So me personally, I just feel that, yes, it is, you know, measures that you have to take at the same time. There's a degree to where you don't have to disrespect people and disrespect people's cultures, because you touching people and doing all that may be disrespectful to their culture or their traditional way of life. So to me, I feel like that, you know, that needs to be regulated. So.
Okay, so that kind of brings up a good point within airline security. Is it okay to decide to further search somebody based on their last name or based on their attire, just for security purposes? Does anybody have an opinion on that?